Hi. So, in my previous video, हमने बात की थी that how buying for investment is different from buying for living in an apartment or a home, and how investment is purely about numbers. It's not about the emotional connection. It's not about the vibe. It's a lot of people talk about. Whereas when you buy for living, you look into all the other non-tangible factors as well. As I said in one of my videos, it there is no value that you can assign to certain aspects of real estate buying, in general of life. So when you buy to live, those value, those factors are sometimes more important than just the numbers. A lot of people DM'd me asking me to give examples of uh, the problem statement I had shown. So, a very interesting example could be that if you're buying as an investment, you could look at properties which are just launched, which have yet to be completed in a substantial amount of time, maybe a year, 2 years, 4 years, and there is a potential for growth. Also, when you're looking for an investment, you may not actually be looking at something uh, in an area which is totally already picking its price tag. So there you could be looking at options where people want to buy in areas which are coming up, in which have a future potential for growth. Whereas if you're buying to live, uh, the you can't buy keeping a 20-year horizon in mind, or maybe even 5 year. You have to look at things like accessibility to hospitals or school or workplace or public transport, which is present right now, because you will be spending a substantial amount of energy or time in consuming those facilities. So that's one example of it. The other example of it would be, for example, a 1 BHK apartment. They provide very good rental return. I've seen cases where even on the current value, they provide about 8% return. And if you look at the growth of the property value and rental return combined over a long period of time, I've seen a CAGR of 14% also in certain properties. Now, I don't want to name the projects, but if you do your research, you would find that one bedrooms have the best rental return. And if you combine it with the property growth orientation, because your entry point was very low, the CAGR is quite good. CAGR is compounded annual growth rate over a long period of time. That's how I started my investment journey. And but as the family grows, maybe you bought a one bedroom to live when you are young. But as the family grows or your needs change, you may want to live in a two-bedroom, three-bedroom, four-bedroom apartment. And here is where the game changes. The bigger the apartment size, the lower the rental return. So in luxury apartment segment, the rental return is as low as 2%. So these do not make great investment option for regular income. I've seen people, I know a lot of investment advisors do not advise to buy an apartment as a income source, but it is a very interesting income source. It's not a bad one because the rentals go up as the inflation goes, and as the prices of the property goes up, the rental return also goes up. So if you are assuming that today I buy a one bedroom and I'm getting 6%, say 6% rental return annually, within 2 to 3 years, that return on current investment becomes 8%, 10%. And just like any other investment, we should always look at the investment time price, not the price of that property at that time, because that would be unfair to the investment option. So, as an investment, one bedrooms do make sense, but would, I mean, leave Bombay apart where everybody probably survives in one bedroom for a lot of amount of their life. Other cities, usually people want a two bedroom, three bedroom, or if you have a joint family, you want a four bedroom apartment. So there, these are the apartments where you would want great sunlight. You would want to see whether there's place for your parents to go down and socialize, where your children can play in good parks. And yes, they do grow over time, definitely. But I, I mean, it has been observed that within 5 years span, the return may not be as attractive as a property that will give quick return in 2, 3, 4, 5 years if it's under construction and just got completed. So, do let me know what you think about this philosophy of mine, and I would share how you can grow your investments over a period of time in real estate, even if you start very small.